So this is the model design schema. It talks about the complete flow, the starting point till the end, the right portion being the reporting modules or the output module. And every box about all the dimensions it is having. It can have multi-dimensions, right? Like it is not restricted to just one list or one line item. You can have n number of lists, n number of line items in any module, right? So let's get into, we will do this real quick. Some of the basic things that you are already aware. Like, so there are 3 steps in design: gathering information, gathering data, and planning stuff, right? So what is gathering information? Basically understanding the process of the company, the current processes, who will be using the model, the certain group, certain for business groups, understand the complete structure of the business on a high level. And then we will get into the details about the list part, like how many lists we need to create, whether there should be a hierarchies set up, whether there should be roll-ups. So this is into the details about the current business process, right? And eventually we plan modules, saying like, okay, these should be my source modules or the driver modules. Then I will have my calculation modules. Then eventually I will create some output modules and use these many lists and these many dimensions, so on and so forth, right? So mainly 2 approaches we follow for any design. There can be an upstream approach or a downstream approach. I have worked on a lot of projects which is on downstream. Basically, it's on end result focused, right? Upstream talks about looking at the current system, like if they have any other planning system currently or the legacy system. We try to understand their current system with all the data, and then we eventually try to build the model. But I have not seen that portion happening. Usually Anaplan always has advantage compared to other planning tools. So we are always focused on the goal or the target. So most of the projects will be on downstream approach, right? Some of the common questions we ask is in when we do the requirements gathering or the design, when we get into design is like, what are the current processes that the organization is following? How many are the users? How many users will be interacting with the model? What are the end user processes? So on and so forth. And you can look at one use case here. Say for example, the Charlie's Ice Cream Company wants to implement Anaplan, and they are facing some challenges in their current planning methodology, right? So their CFO says like they don't know what are their overall expenses and revenue. They don't know how the sales reps, whether their sales reps are meeting the goals or not. So these are some of the pain points that they have. Like they want the product pricing across, how will it affect the financial performance? Are they seeing any regional differences in every product sale that is happening? They don't have answers to these questions. And also CFO says like he needs to compare the cost, expense, sales scenarios, understand the company profit or loss, and limit the sales managers to see only some information pertaining to their sales region, right? So it looks fair requirements, some pain points and some additional requirements. But yeah, with these things, we can ask some follow-up questions to these questions and these requirements, and eventually we can get the data, the details about their current process, right? So we will understand like, okay, when we ask these questions that I said, we will get to know like, okay, this company has 90+ employees. It is divided across 4 organizational regions. It has like 3 sales regions, overall 27 products, and they are currently planning everything on an Excel spreadsheet, right? Simple. Okay. By looking at this, I know, okay, I will have to have an employee list. I will have to have an organization list. I will have to have 3 sales regions, a products list, eventually use these across modules to calculate and type at these things that he is asking, right?
Right.
So simple use case, yeah, this is how it happens in any project. Understand the pain points, get the requirements, and eventually lay out the design and the build steps. Okay, so now let us go into details about list part. In last class, I told you list is a collection of fundamental data, similar data, group, right? And we can also do a list roll-up. you establish, you do a parent-child relationship, and you create a list roll-up. Okay. So in Anaplan, there are 5 types of lists that you can create. Okay. How do you want to do it? Shall we do the practical first, or shall we do the theory first on this one? Like I will each of them.
Let's talk about the different types, and then we can try the practical.
Okay, perfect. Okay, cool. So I will just give you a gist about this slide. Next slides have in detail about each of those lists. Maybe I will just explain this on a high level. We will log in into your model and then do that. Okay. So basically, first one is the flat list or a simple list. As the name says, it doesn't have any hierarchies. It's just a plain list. Just create one list and add list items. That's it. Done. Simple, easy to do. We can do it later. Okay. But next comes the hierarchy. So it's like setting up the relationship between 2 simple lists. You take 2 simple lists and attach one to another, saying one is the of another flat list. So that's when a hierarchy gets established, and you see all the underlying list items roll up. So there is a roll up hierarchy. It's like the child parent that gets created. Okay. So this is again connecting 2 flat lists, or 2 or 3 flat lists for that matter. It depends on how many levels that we want to establish. Okay. Third one is a pick list. As the name says, you create this kind of a list when you don't want users to select any other value apart from a predefined list of values. To better answer, say for example, you have a web page, like you log in into any website and you see 2 drop downs. One drop down talk about country, another drop down talks about state. Say for example, you see United States of America, it should show all the states of USA, right? So you should not select any other value apart from the predefined set of values. So that's when you set the second drop down as a pick list.
Right.
Similar thing you can create an Anaplan where the users are restricted to select only one value out of a predefined set of values to add consistency. Okay. So the fourth one is the subset. As the name says, like it is created to reuse out of a larger list. Like you have a larger list, you create a smaller list with that large list just to reuse only that smaller list for other calculations and other stuff. And how do you decide what needs to be reused? You create a Boolean property. Like as soon as you create a subset list, you see a true or false criteria that is getting established. And in the true or false criteria, you tag the larger list members to the smaller list members. An example for this might be like you have an employee list. You want to find out the sales rep in all those employees. You create a sales rep list and you have a Boolean condition, like which employee is a sales rep or not. So wherever it is checked true, that means he is also an employee, he also belongs to the sales rep list, right? So you create.
So if suppose, I guess one thing that confuses me is like there's the concept of a subset, but there's also like meta or properties on a list, right? So what's the difference? So if I have an example where you said like I have employees and they're in different departments, right? So if they're in IT and let's say operations, is that is IT operations and let's say, I don't know, IT operations and finance, that's a subset list, or is that a meta on an existing list?
So that will be a roll up. So you're saying about IT, operations, finance, HR, payroll, so on and so forth, right? Those are all different departments. Eventually, under each department, there are multiple employees. So you create a department list and then you create an employee list. You are making the list employees to roll up to every department. So that comes under composite hierarchy thing. So now under every, say for example, under IT, you want to find, under IT there is employees. And under those employees, you want to find out only the support guys who work on support projects, right? So then you create a support IT as a subset maybe, and then have then tag to every employee list. So that way you identify, okay, these are the support guys under IT department.
Okay, so when there's a breakdown of another like list, then that's kind of a subset. So from
Yes.
IT, like you said, if there's like, I guess, is it applicable if there's like AVP, VP, director, or is that a subset, or that too is kind of is that a hierarchy, or is that a subset?
That should be more like a property, like in terms of you're giving a job role designation, right? So you
Okay.
for employee list, you add a property like a job role, job designation, and then you tag the value to each of that property. Like,
Okay, and so in your example, you said that for if an employee is in the hierarchy where they are in the department IT, a subset would be that they're a help desk employee, or if they're a programmer. That's a subset?
yeah, if you want to have a logic for only those guys, you create a subset like the way you said right now, and tag fewer employees under them, and then you can have one planning module to get only those guys.
Okay. Okay.
Like that. It is just for reusing purpose. You don't want all the employees, but you only want a smaller chunk. We create subsets to reuse smaller group of list members.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Clear on this one?
Yeah. Yeah. I think
You will get a complete picture when you create this in Anaplan now, just after I speak.
Okay.
Let's create few lists, add properties, create all of these. Each of these lists we will create, you will understand it in detail.